Hello and welcome to the Spartan Podcast, Week 4 of the podcast. As I'm John Schwartz, Sports Information Director at Case Western Reserve University. We'll have a bit of an abbreviated version of the Spartan Podcast today, just updating you on what happened during the course of the week. And then no interview at the end with the Spartan athlete. There will be one next week. But a busy week here in Case Western Reserve University Athletics, so let's get right to it and start off with some good news from Case Western Reserve University football, which continued to roll early in the season, picking up a 35-7 win at Waynesburg on Saturday to improve to 3-0 overall on the year and to 2-0 in the PAC. Jacob Burke led the team with a school record-tying 4 rushing touchdowns in the game, totaled 163 yards on the ground in the contest. That is a career high for the junior. Rob Kuda came away with 83 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown, as well as the Spartans outgained Waynesburg 286 yards to 57 on the ground in the game. Jacob Burke, along with junior linebacker Channing Demery, were named the UAA Athletes of the Week. Demery, 6 tackles and an interception in the game during the conference's weekly honor. The Spartans will be back in action this Saturday, October 1st at 6 p.m. as they return home to take on St. Vincent College. It will also be fireworks night at DeSanto Field, so make sure to come down for that. In addition to the news from football, there also was some other news off the field as Justin Phan's punt return from Week 1 against the University of Chicago was nominated for the Geico Play of the Year. You could vote for that on our website, athletics.case.edu, and if he wins this week's voting, he'll be put in the running for the finalists to be aired on CBS at the end of the season on November 25th. In other news, men's soccer went 1-1 during the week to improve to 3-4-1 overall. They started off the week with a 2-0 win at John Carroll University. Joshua Prosser got the team on the board with his 4th goal of the season coming in the 34th minute, and then Paul Darmstadter secured the win with a 75th minute goal, his 2nd of the year. Later in the week on Saturday, the Spartans suffered a 1-0 loss at Lycoming despite a career-high 7 saves from Calvin Boyle in the game. Boyle was later named the UAA Defensive Athlete of the Week for men's soccer. He allowed just 1 goal in 180 minutes in net, had 1 shutout during the week, and 11 total saves. The men's soccer team with a big week in front of them this week. On Tuesday night, they'll be taking on 2nd-ranked Kenyon College here at DeSanto Field, so make sure to come on down for that. And then they'll open up University Athletic Association play on Saturday at 1:30 p.m. against NYU. Women's soccer 1-0-1 during the week to improve to 4-2-2 overall. They started off the week with a 2-1 win over 25th-ranked Wittenberg University on Tuesday here at DeSanto Field. Neha Chimolavagu got the team on the board with her 2nd goal of the season, scoring in the 4th minute off a header from Ellie Zadina. Her corner kick was served into the box, and Chimolavagu able to head it home to give the Spartans a 1-0 lead. Wittenberg tied the game with a goal in the 25th minute, but freshman Kimberly Chen with her 3rd goal of the year in the 61st minute proved to be the game winner to give the Spartans the 2-1 victory. On Sunday at John Carroll University, the Spartans with a 1-1 tie against the Blue Streaks. Jennifer Zajic, the senior, with a 45th minute goal to tie the game. It was her first of the season. Both teams went scoreless the rest of the way in the 1-1 double overtime tie. The Spartans will be back in action on Tuesday at Denison, and then will be back home against NYU to open their conference schedule on Saturday, October 1st at 11 a.m. Tough week for volleyball. They went 0-2 during the week. A 3-0 midweek loss to Baldwin Wallace on Wednesday. That one on the road, then returned home. Suffered a 3-1 loss at Heidelberg on Saturday. However, the Spartans with a stellar overall record, 12-3 overall. And now we'll head into the UAA first round robin of the year. That one at Carnegie Mellon, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania this weekend. They'll be taking on NYU and Rochester on Saturday, and then a tough task on Sunday when they'll take on Emory, ranked 8th in the country on that Sunday to open up conference play in their own right. Men's tennis kept their fall season going this weekend. They were in a pair of weekend competitions, the ITA Regional Championships in Kalamazoo, Michigan, and at the Purdue Fall Invite, that one in West Lafayette, Indiana. At the ITA Championships, 9th-seeded Josh Doogie made it to the round of 16 before falling to the 2nd-seeded player in the draw. It was the furthest any Spartan player made it. Freshman Siddharth Rajapet, the 17th-seeded player, and Sam Concannon, another freshman, both made it to the round of 62 in the singles draw. In doubles play, Doogie and sophomore Rob Stroop both made it to the round of 32, as did freshman Sam Concannon and Roger Pett teaming together. Again, the furthest advancing Spartan teams in that doubles draw. At Purdue, impressive performance from Anthony Canham, who made it to the semifinals of the D-Flight. And the Spartans will wrap up their fall season this weekend as they return home for the CWRU Fall Invitational on Saturday. Cross country was off this week, but they'll be back in action on Friday at the All-Ohio Championships in Cedarville, Ohio. As will women's tennis, which was off this week. They'll be back in action at the ITA Central Regionals in Kalamazoo, Michigan on Friday and Sunday. I should say Friday through Sunday. Want to thank everyone once again for listening. Make sure to go to athletics.case.edu for all the information on this week's big week of Spartan Athletics. Again, a lot of teams in action as we get right into the heart of the fall season. Thanks again for listening in, everyone, and we'll see you next week with the Spartan Podcast.